In a world where you may only choose one, which will you choose?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great time for pinball. And you guessed it, that is what we're talking about today because we've had not one, but two releases within 24 hours. So let's get it. Now, first, we got to talk about Barrels of Fun and the latest Dune game that they just released. This is now their second game that they have released. And I've got to say, they are doing some things definitely right, at least in my opinion. Now, I've got to say, these opinions are only based off of visual because I haven't seen the game in person. I haven't played one of their games. So I don't know how well they're doing that. I don't know how well they're building it. But there's one thing to me that they seem to really do well, and that is really bringing you into the world of, under glass because they are putting in sculpts that are not just little toys and mechs here and there, but they're putting in whole landscapes of things. Not to mention, they're putting a massive screen in the back of the box that really kind of it changes that back landscape and really just to me it looks like it enhances you know, a world there. I mean, it just really opens it up. And like I said, I haven't played one in person, so I don't know for a fact of how well it actually does. But I will say the sculpts look freaking amazing on the game. And that's one thing it seems like that to me that they're doing really well is they are really putting in the sculpts, bringing you into that world, not just giving you the one or two sculpts or three sculpts here and there that are little pieces and parts, but no, an entire landscape of sculpt area, and that to me is really, really fascinating and beautiful work that they've done. Now, I've seen some criticism, people complaining about artwork, but that is with every game, including Kong, that we're going to talk about here in a minute, because you can't please everybody. Let's face it, it's just never going to happen. It's always somebody's going to be hurt about this, that, or the other. Or they should have did this, should have did that. You know what? They have to pick a direction, they have to go with it, and they go with it and do the best they can with it, and honestly, I feel like the artwork on this game is fantastic. I look at the play field and it looks inviting, it looks cool, it looks neat. Same thing with the cabinet. I love how the cabinet goes from, day into night on the cabinet with the fade across it. I know some people are complaining about the back glass being actual, the actual faces and not illustrations, but to me, it looks fantastic. I like everything about it. It looks visually appealing to me. And you talk about a beautiful powder coating job. I love the powder coat that they've chose. I love the black with the cold sparkle in it. I don't know, it just gives it a little it keeps it kind of classy, but then pops it at the same time. And I think it's a fantastic looking game. The shots are, you know, it looks like it's got a decent amount of shots in it. There's one shot in there to me that really kinda makes me a little concerned about how it's gonna how it feels in that one area, and it's basically that far right shot because you have a stand up there, but you can shoot it up in there and it hits a kickback and comes back, but it's not it kinda zigzags a little bit, and I just kinda wonder, is it gonna get kinda clunky through there, or is it pretty well a smooth shot? I don't know, until we get to playing it and tweaking it, nobody's really gonna know that, and overall, though, I think the layout's pretty cool. You've got ramps in there with diverters that is pretty neat. You've got magnets all over the place. You've got, the little forks, just like honestly, there's a one section reminds me a lot of Foo Fighters where you have the forks that pop up and the magnet in there. But you're actually able to continue on and I believe you're able to continue on. Looks like it has a spinner and stuff through there. So I'm assuming you'll be able to shoot that. I think that's a shot that goes back or comes from like the left flipper can come back in there and you can shoot it back that way. I don't know, but either way, cool little section there. But let's be honest, the big mech and toy in this game is the worm or whatever the heck it's called. And it's a pretty cool looking mech. It does multi functions, which I think is really neat. It's not just a bash toy. It's not just a magnet that holds it. No, and it's not just a subway entrance. No, it's an elevator to the wire form. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a pretty cool looking toy. And it's sculpted. I believe it's all sculpted. So it's a really cool looking toy. Has a lot of different functions, which I really like. And you have a jump ramp behind it that you're hitting the harvester. There's a bunch of little stuff in this game, and I'm really curious to see how well it's going to play, what they're going to do with code, how well that's gonna develop, but honestly, I think this is gonna be a pretty awesome game. I know I say that about a lot of games, but I don't know. This one looks like it'd be a fun game, at least to me. So, either which way, congrats, Barrels of Fun on this game. It's nice to see another manufacturer come out and provide a nice another option for really a beautiful game. Now, yeah, the price is a little bit steeper at 11,600, especially compared to what they had before with Labyrinth. But at the end of the day, you're getting a little bit more with it. You're getting some LED lighting around the perimeter that's going to kind of do the deal with Avatar, where it fades from day to nighttime. You're going to get the Well, it's not Invisiglass. I forgot what they call it. Whatever their brand of glass is. You're getting a few little upgrades and stuff like that in there. I do feel like they went backwards on the topper, but I have a feeling they're going to probably do what Spooky does and give you kind of a more simplistic topper. But for a fee later on, you could buy an upgraded topper for $1,200 or whatever that's going to be animated, kind of more like the Labyrinth. But overall, I think it's a great looking game. Congrats. But we got to talk about Kong because that seems to be the hot topic with Keith Elwin's latest game. And it's already got some criticism on the artwork once again, which, come on, guys. I mean, at some point, I guess I get it. I mean, you can go either way with a lot of stuff. You can go bright and vibrant. You can go kind of dull and muted. And yes, I mean, Zombie Yeti's involved in it. I think Zombie Yeti does a fantastic job. I mean, his work is very colorful and bright. I like that. I also like some darker colors too. Like, so I mean, uh, I don't know. To me, it still looks like a great game as far as the artwork. My only complaint, I think, on the art side is the powder coat choice for the LE. I'm not a big fan of just solid black. I know it has the gold behind it in the cutouts, but I like to see some sparkle. Or if it does have sparkle, must have missed it, but it looks like just black powder coat to me. And then the other thing is the cabinet art on the premium and LE appear to be the same, with the exception of the LE being foil. And in the past, we've always had three different art packages all the way across the board. So I don't know if that's part of their cost saving measures. They decided, hey, we're going to cut one art package out. We're only gonna do two of them. Now, I mean, the back glasses are still different across all three, but the side art seems to be and the cabinet art seems to be the same for the premium and the LE. Now, since we're talking about what other people see as negative, I'll tell you there's one negative that I seem to have with this game, and that is the animations. Now, I'm I don't know. I'm not a fan of this animations that I have seen so far. It looks very I don't know, they look kinda plain and bluff, like, there's not a lot of detail in King Kong. That's kinda my only complaint with it. I seen they got Brian Quinn from, what is it, Practical Jokers doing call outs, which I think, I like his voice. I think it's kind of a cool I think it's gonna be, sound really neat. The playfield layout, I mean, it's definitely I mean, it's a little different. It's got some cool things in there. Animated King Kong that will smash the ball, and it'll also, take and smash the subway car, which will then, dump out the balls for the multi-ball. That's pretty cool. The gong's pretty neat looking. I think that's a cool little deal there. The spider, I don't know, the spider really doesn't do much for me o over the magnet. It's not a big thing in my opinion, and I do kinda like that back shot, though, that you can goes back and it can either hit a kickback target or it can actually drop in the hole and go to a subway, so that's a pretty neat little area there, and overall, I think the gameplay looks like it's gonna be kinda neat. I think the storyline's gonna be good, could be good. It's gonna turn out hopefully really well with the code and stuff. And I mean, it's a 4 flipper game. I mean, it's got some drop targets in there. We've got ramps, we've got diverters, we've got all kind of little stuff in there, magnets. So overall, I think it looks like it's going to be a great game. I kind of like the little drop down pieces over on the left upper flipper, where if I don't know what triggers it or doesn't trigger it, but apparently it can be down, and that would allow the ball to pass down that left side, which actually goes down on the outside of the out lane that kicks back over, it looks like, into the flipper area, and then it can be up and actually feed that upper flipper as well, so thought that was a pretty neat little feature to see. Now people are talking about how, how much is being lost out on the pro, and you are missing a good bit. You're not gonna get the animated, King Kong, you're not gonna get the subway, you're not gonna get the gong, you're not gonna get the spider, and you're also not gonna get the little biplane, the molded biplane, so that's gonna be all lost. Is it worth $2,000? You have to make that decision. I know for me, it would be, like, I would probably still wanna go with a premium. I wouldn't see me going to an LE on this one because, I don't know, I mean, you're not gaining a different art package really, you're not I don't know, I'm not a fan of the color that they've chose for it on the side armor, so honestly, I would probably go premium and kinda deck it out myself and do all the mods and yeah, it's not a LE, but, I would make it how I would like to make it. But overall, I do think, to me, this looks funner, in my opinion, than Jaws. I was not a fan of Jaws when it came out and really didn't care for it much when I played it initially at Southern Fried Gaming, so really think this game to me is would be more of my style of game. And I mean, I think it's got a lot going for it, but I'm not interested in buying it simply for the fact that we have Harry Potter coming out around the corner. And whether or not you agree with what Jack did, or maybe it was intentional or unintentional, I think it was more of he knew he had some damage control to try to help, you know, curve back some of the sales because money is a little bit tighter now. And I think it probably worked a little bit to an extent that he was able to probably curve a few sales to hold off at least until Harry Potter comes out. Of course, we still gotta wait and see what Harry Potter is actually gonna be like and whether or not it's gonna be worth the price that it's gonna be and whether we're gonna get a good game or just a meh game. So I'm crossing my fingers because it is absolutely a dream theme of mine, and, I'm hoping they're gonna do a really good job and knock it out of the park. Now we are gonna get to do an early unboxing from Jason at Classic Game Room's own Harry Potter. Super excited to be invited to that. Really gonna bring that to you guys when we get that, and I'll let you know a little bit later on when we're actually gonna be able to do that unboxing. I am so excited for that because, man, it's gonna be great, but we're gonna bring you guys along for it. If you guys are interested in any game, check out Jason with Classic Game Rooms. He is a fantastic distributor. He carries everything from Spooky to American Pinball to Stern, of course, JJP, Barrels of Fun. He has it all. Give him a call. And boys and girls, we're going to end this video off here. I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned because when Harry Potter comes out, we're going to be talking about it. I am super excited for that one. Not to mention, once again, we got the unboxing coming up. When that happens, I will keep you guys posted. But until then, you guys have a great night, great day, whatever it is when you're watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.